All right, all right, all right. We are live on the on our Team Elevation Touchstone team page and on our YouTube channel, and it's 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night. You know, we were 9 o'clock was our live time for a while, and we've been making some adjustments with live at 11s and training times, and so you know, we may go back to this time. I've heard a lot of feedback that it was just, you know, hey, we got the kids in bed, dinner was over, because we were trying to do the 5:15 to take into consideration the UK.
Right.
And just and we love the UK, but at the same time, it was a really difficult time frame for people with kids and school and dinner time, and you know, people with young kids, and saying, hey, it's easier when we don't have the kids, or the kids are already down, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Denise from Skinny Atlas, good to see her on board.
Hello, Denise.
Denise, I was talking with a young lady tonight that I want to connect you with tomorrow. She's from up in your neck of the woods in New Jersey, so remind me of that. And there's Miss Cindy Terrell. Cindy is one of our new Advantage members who is from New Jersey as well. And Cindy's doing really well. Excited to have you on tonight, Cindy. And
Cindy's name, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Cindy, but Cindy's name was on a little report I get in the mornings about people that have begun qualification for three-peat.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Good for Cindy.
Yeah, she's doing well, and she's really excited to be part of our team. She came from a different company and you know, liked the company and okay, but just wasn't having didn't have the tools and the support that we have here. And so, you know, what's cool about it is Cindy's done more in her first 6 weeks here than she did in 2 years before.
Oh, congratulations. That's great.
Yeah. And listen, we've got great tools, but the cool thing is Cindy's a really coachable lady and really wants to do well. So that's what's so positive. Yeah. Always good stuff there. And then we've got some Facebook users joining in, and there's Mr. Her again. So here's what Cindy says: loving Touchstone. We're loving you too.
Yeah.
Got Tamara Taylor, and Latori. Now Tamara, this is Cindy's sister.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So we did a three-way call for her tonight, and she with a dog breeder, a dog trainer, and who. And to my knowledge, this three-way only occurred a couple of hours ago. And from my understanding, I think he's already signed on and ready to go and excited about that. And Tamara is connected with, she's in the dog world, you know, and so she's really loving that we have a dog product, because she was with a previous CBD company that didn't have a specific dog product.
Sure.
And being able to convert and that sort of thing made it difficult. And a lot of people in the dog world, as you know, are not willing to take a product designed for humans and try to do all the calculations. They want something specifically for their pets.
Yeah.
So,
and you know, the pets, particularly the Calm, they like that raw native flavor, right? They don't like the mint. So it's built for them.
It is. And now I say that she's now got a call lined up for next Monday with the partner of the Dog Whisperer, and I can't think of his name right now. Do you know who I'm talking?
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
Milan, is that right?
It seems right, Ellen, but I'm not. I don't know enough to chime in.
Yeah, so that's great stuff. And Betty Carter from Kingsport, Tennessee. Betty's been with us a long time. Awesome. New Jersey in the house. There's one of our new. I'm scrolling too fast. There's one of our new. She's not a grandmother. She's a nonna, because the Italian ladies are nonnas. Miss Debbie Stella. Yeah. Good to have her on.
Somebody's
board.
Just chimed in and said his name was Caesar.
Caesar Milan. Yeah. Isn't that cool? Yeah. And you know, it's here's Rebecca Mesker, and I have given dogs a pure body, and it has helped them. You know, Tamara was talking about that, and Caesar Milan is going to be, that would be a great addition to our list of brand ambassadors that we have, which is quite a few.
Yeah.
And, Rebecca, thank you for sharing that, because Tamara was, and the gentleman whose name is Tom that we were on a three-way with call tonight, was asking about that and asking about some of the other products and asking about the balm product, because, a lot of dogs have arthritis, older dogs, and rubbing the balm on their arthritis. So good stuff there. And Tamara says she's loving the products and all the great materials. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight as well. So happy to be here, and we're happy to have her too. And Tamara was with a previous company too. And there's Miss Debbie, her little Lulu, her little I can't remember the name of that little English bulldog. Is that right?
It's a bulldog. I don't know if it's French or English, but yes, we don't want to mislabel Lulu.
We don't want to mislabel them. Yeah. So anyway, great stuff. We're excited to have everybody on tonight. And listen, we're always excited. There's Channing. Channing is one of our new exciting members who is excited to get products for my pup. Yeah. Channing is new to our team and our business, and she's an exciting new Advantage member who is just really happy to be with us and happy to be on board. So she is from the great state of Georgia. So she's originally a Texan. Rebecca says, I work at a dog daycare. They love the CBD. Nice.
Oh, that's great.
There we are. We're corrected. It's a Frenchie bulldog. Yeah. All right, Ms. Debbie. So, Eddie, it's always great to come together and just, kind of catch up. And we like to do this once a month and just come on and let everybody know, the positive thing that's going on, and update everybody and share information. And one of the things I wanted to share tonight, Eddie, was the fact that we've, in our packaging, our packaging is amazing, by the way. I mean, just absolutely impressive. I think it's first in class. And so we've got a new health guide out. And if you haven't seen that, it is listed in your back office. That I lost it here. Let's pull it up again. Well, somehow I decided to share it and unshare it, but let's see. A brand new health guide. And I tell you, Eddie, our marketing department and our ladies have just done a fabulous job of putting this information together. They really have. I mean, it's great information. I don't know, I'm sure the numbers more than I, but I can tell you that the feedback that I get from people, from existing customers who will contact me and say, I was reading in the health guide.
Yeah.
I've been buying this product for the last 4 years, and I was reading in the health guide about this new, and I've even had people say to me, this new product that we have out, it's amazing, because they get used to it and they get in that same pattern of buying, and then they're able to see that this is on here. And one of the things that I want you to know too is that if you're seeing this over here, how I'm sharing this is actually, we talk about the tools, and we were talking about the ladies who are here and a lot of the new people who come on board and that love all the new tools. This is a downloadable PDF. And so we always talk about, and Eddie, I wanted you to touch base on this a little bit, because, one of the things that's so important, one of the things that we have, here's Better Sleep with CBD. Right now there's over 60 million Americans who are taking a prescription sleep aid. Over 60 million in Better Sleep with CBD. Eddie, what I wanted you to touch base on tonight is we as a company have, and in talking with some of the new distributors that we've brought on, that I've brought on and others have brought on in the past few weeks, we have a tendency to, and a lot of the people who have been with us for a long time, hey, there's Lawrence. Good to see you, Lawrence. Welcome to the call. And Laura, I like to recognize everybody who comes on, and I apologize. But, we sometimes have a tendency to take for granted all the tools that we have. And one of the things that I was talking to today with one of my, I was doing an onboarding training with a new VBO, and I said, anytime, everything we do duplicates. And anytime that you're talking to someone or sharing with someone, you always want to be pointing them to a tool, because we have a tool for everything. The Verb app is such an amazing tool that you carry in your hand. You can say, listen, here's how simple it is to send that out. Eddie, you and I have been in the business for a while. You longer than me. I'm older than you, but you longer than me. And we remember the days when we had to track somebody down with a VHS tape or a CD and go, or not a CD, a
DVD.
Cassette tape even.
Yeah, that's right.
And say,
way
hey.
back. That's the Wayback Machine.
Way back. And hey, it had our name, had a sticker on it with our name and phone number and say, would you listen to this? And listen, if you're not interested, please give it back because I paid $4 for it, you know? And so I just wanted you to touch base a little bit on the power of sharing tools because of the third-party validation and edification, if you would.
Sure. And thank you for the chance to be on the call tonight, and for everybody that's joined us, and the chance to just reconnect once a month. I love this. So as Alan mentioned, I've been doing this a long time. You know, I'm 30 years plus involved in the industry. And I have to tell you, I'm just as passionate for it today as I ever was. I just have a deep appreciation for the methodologies of the industry, the personal freedoms it gives you, right? You get to choose when and where and for how long. I love that. I just love that, right? And I love the idea of being an entrepreneur, except here, unlike a traditional place where you would start a business, you can do this without those traditional financial risks and responsibilities, right? And so one thing I'll just say to everybody now, that also has a downside, because sometimes you don't sort of explore as you could or should, maybe because you didn't buy a $100,000 franchise, right? And if we bought a $100,000 franchise of some kind, we'd explore up and down and sideways every tool available, right? And so sometimes people won't, don't invest the time. But here's what's critical about this. The idea of this business, it may not be the sexiest part of the discussion, but what makes this industry work is it's a chance to leverage your time and resources, right? So through the compensation plan, we can leverage our time into an income that would exceed what we think of when we think of traditional income, right? Getting paid an hourly wage or a salary that's tied to appearance, right? You got to show up to get it, unless you have some really unusual circumstances. And so, that's the challenge of traditional work, is that there's just only so many hours in the day that you're willing to dedicate to the work. And there's only so much money somebody's willing to pay you for that work, no matter who you are. And so there's this constant tug between yourself, what you want and desire, your goals, your desire for personal freedom and choice, with income and having to make that income, right? And so we sacrifice. And in the traditional sense, we often sacrifice 30, 40, now we're living longer, 50 years, right? And the world does not become more financially secure by every day. It almost seems worse, right? So all these things are behind there. And so at the core of this, and I'm giving you a long explanation because I want this to sink in, is that leverage is the key here. And you have the ability to leverage in multiple ways. You can leverage literally the resources of the company. So this website we have, that's as fine a digital-driven, tool-based website as I think I've ever seen. We pride ourselves on just keeping that thing tuned and fresh with tools and things of that kind. And then the tools themselves, because they do the talking for you. And what's really critical about this, for those, you're listening, you may have the personality type and the capacity to speak better than tool. And I applaud you for that. Those are probably hard-earned skills. And I have a deep appreciation for people that invest in themselves and learn to communicate and listen to other people and can memorize, presentations. But the reality is, most of your audience, most of your peer group, most of the people you'll talk to, perhaps they could learn all that, but they don't want to. Life is already busy. And so they're having this conversation with you because they want to leverage their time. And so when they see you leverage the tool, it sends a signal to them that they could leverage their time in the same way And so this idea of personal financial freedom by leveraging the tools or leveraging the company or leveraging the products or leveraging the website or leveraging the compensation plan, it all of a sudden becomes real when they see you doing that. And so that's one of the things to just keep in mind is, use the tool whenever possible, even if you could do it yourself, because of the signal that sends without you even saying it, that this is doable by anybody with any skill level, right? One of the great things I loved back in the day when I would hand those audio cassettes out, anybody could have trained their pet to hand a cassette out, right? I might have fancied myself as being super smart and capable of doing that, but the truth of the matter is, your average bear can hand out a cassette tape, right? And so it was really an important tool. Now, what you can do is you can follow up properly. And what you can do is you can learn to tell your story so that they're more likely to engage with the tool. So that's an add-on, right? You can learn to say, hey, listen, I stumbled across something here I'm quite excited about. I'm excited because, I need to do better with my health. I don't want to always be in the grind with my work. And I found something I believe can make a real impact, right? Whatever your story happens to be, but learning to tell your story so that they're more engaged with the tool is sort of this difference maker, but the tool itself is the centerpiece. And what's critical is that you learn the tools that we have that make the most sense for you. Let's say you're just this massive fan of our CBD line. Well, learning the various blogs we have that deal with the CBD subjects, such as sleep or anxiety, or just how the endocannabinoid system can be tuned with CBD. And someone says, well, what's got you excited about CBD? Say, well, I've struggled with some sleeping. I'm going to send you this little short article to give you a little more detail. It's really been a difference maker, right? You can learn. You don't have to learn them all. You take your area of passion, learn the tools we have that surround that area of passion, and put them to work for you. You can do that with the app. The app has this array of tools. And so you use the tool to do your bidding, so to speak, with the public. And I just think that's a critical component here. And it isn't that you have to use them all. You just have to use the ones that make the most sense with what you're passionate about, what you care about, and you've got a methodology. And here's the real big thing for me. You find something you do and you like doing, and you hit the repeat button.
Yeah.
You hit the repeat button, but not with the same person.
Right.
You're like a waiter or waitress in a restaurant that's walking around and say, hey, would you like some more coffee? And they don't want any more coffee. That's okay. Probably 2 minutes later, you don't need to ask them again, right? They didn't want any more coffee. It doesn't mean they never want coffee. Just means they don't want any more then. And maybe they say, no, I don't want coffee, but I'd like regular coffee. I'll take some decaf, right? And so you just learn that your attitude is that way. And your task is telling your story and learning to talk to people in some form or fashion, however that is, right? For some, it's in person. For some, it's by text. For some, it's by email, whatever it happens to be, so that you can do that enough to develop a base of customers and develop a team, right? And then the rewards start, because all of a sudden you've got some people that are excited about something. Might not be the same thing you're excited about, but they've got their own agenda. And what you've done is you've referred them to us, and now you get a royalty on that activity that they create. I mean, that's literally the cycle here, and you can choose how much of that you do and how often you do. But what I will say this is if you ignore the tools and you don't invest the time to get a handle on the ones that matter to you, you're shortchanging your own success. I'm not going to pretend that you can't be successful, because success comes in all shapes and sizes, but learning to utilize those tools leverages your time and demonstrates to someone else how to do the same. So that's what I would say in general about tools.
Yeah. And hey, I want to welcome April Dowling on there. April's new Advantage member as of this week as well. So great job, April. In addition to that, Eddie, and when I'm talking to folks, and as I was talking to Cindy and to Tammy, and they were with a previous company, and they said we don't have the support, and it's just so difficult. And they were literally having to take their time to put stuff together and to create this and to create that. But more so than that, I have said to people this. People say, because here's the very biggest reason that people will question whether or not they should join your team, and that is, here's what they're asking themselves. They may not ask you this, but they're asking themselves, can I do this? Can I do this? And you see, what's so important about what you just said about the tools is two things. One is, I tell people, listen, do you know how to share a link on the internet? Yeah, I know how to do that. Then you can do this.
Yeah.
Because that's all we're doing is just sharing information. You see, and what happens is then when your people do the same thing, I tell them, whatever you do, we'll duplicate. You see, when you get on the phone with somebody and you spend 50 minutes telling them about the ingredients and the ingredient labels and how they were manufactured and the extraction process and all these things that they're like, I didn't do well in school. I mean, I'm one of them, and so I appreciate the offer, but that's not for me, because that's just, I can't do that.
Right.
But when they can ask and you say, well, listen, I'll just send you a link. They can do that. They go, well, I can do that.
Yep.
Now, for those who are new, and we've got quite a few new people on here, and we've talked about this to a little bit with them, is that the advanced digital marketing system, what happens then? You see, that's when the magic starts happening, is when I send you a link, Eddie, and I say, and I can probably answer most questions about CBD, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say, when Eddie says, Alan, I was seeing something or heard something, and you were telling about that CBD. Tell me about it. And I'm gonna say, hey, I'll send you a link. Because see, when the moment Eddie clicks on that link, what happens is that's when the magic. I call it the magic because I don't know what all's going on, and I don't really care to know. But all I know is Eddie now clicked on a link, and our website's gonna follow him around like a stalker. That's kind of the way it is. If you go to Google, you're going to see an ad pop up that's going to talk about that CBD. When you go to Facebook, you're going to see a sponsored ad that brings up the product and the company. And when you go to, Amazon, wherever you go, you're going to start seeing these little pop-up ads and banner ads and pay-per-click ads. And you're going to be going, well, there must be something to that product that Alan told me about. It's like going out and buying that blue Toyota Tacoma truck with the black trim that's blacked out. You think nobody's got one, but all of a sudden now you see them everywhere.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yes.
And so now the cool thing is 3 weeks later, you saw an ad that I didn't do. I didn't create. The company did it for me. And you go, well, heck, I'm going to click on it. And it carries them right back to my page for me for free. I don't have any idea what it costs, but I can tell you that I saw an ad today where, I get hit up because I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I get hit up with a lot of people going, hey, would you like me to help you create ads? And I go, no, I don't. And they go, but we can do it, and we'll do it for, $750 a month. And I go, I got a better idea. When they want to tell you how amazing they are, right? And I'm going to tell you what I'll do then. Let's do this. Let me sign you up. You can do the ads, and I'll pay you all the commission. They don't want to do that. They want no part of that, And so that's when the magic happens, is our advanced digital marketing system. Here's Tamara. She was one of the ones who was with another company, and her comment is, the website is amazing with the best tools available. It is so awesome that I don't have to make my own material anymore. Now she's the one who is, meeting with Milan and one of his partners anyway. And so when she said to me, hey, so I got to figure out, what all do I put together? I said, you don't have to put together anything. Everything's there for them. And that way they know that if they need the information, it's there for them too.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
and that's true whether they're going to reference products or business, right? We have a collaboration tab, which is broken down to the different parts of the business. I mean, literally, you can get very microscopic in the aspects of what we do that you want to share, right? Based on someone's personal interest.
Yeah. Yeah. And now testimonials are amazing. And we've got thousands. I don't know how many thousands of testimonies.
I think we're over 12,000 5-star reviews and testimonials. And that's for those that don't know, that's a third-party driven environment. So by agreement with Google and other websites, we can't have an impact on that, right? So we're vulnerable to whatever people say, and if they have questions or something, we respond to it. But I'm really proud of that, right? Because we can't call that list or change things. That's just the raw entry that we're getting.
Yeah. Yeah. I had somebody that I sent some of the, and listen, and if you don't know, we're not going to go into too much detail tonight because I don't want to spend too much time on here. But if you don't know where they are, if you're new and don't know where to find those, and I had somebody ask me the other day, can I share them? I went, absolutely. Absolutely. Not only can you, we encourage you to.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So get with your upline to find out where they are. And it's so important for those testimonies to be important. But here's something that I saw, Eddie, that I want you to share is I saw a little thing that's coming out in our new newsletter that's packaged in everybody's product. You're doing a $500 product giveaway.
How about that? Isn't that fun?
Isn't that amazing? You want to tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, I will. I have to say, the team, they think of some great stuff. And so basically, for those that want to take the time and to go share, I believe it's on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. And there's some rules there, right? You want to pay to it. You don't have to pay anything. But if you're going to go and post and share and on social media about the products, and it can be an unboxing or whatever it has to be, just read the rules. Each month somebody's name is going to be drawn, and it's a $500 worth of product giveaway of their choice, right? They can just pick from the product line and we're going to send it to them, right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So it's pretty fun. And we've particularly seen so much activity on Instagram. It seems to be Facebook. Sometimes I think there's reach restrictions. Most everybody realizes this kind of thing, but it doesn't seem to be quite the same on Instagram. I mean, I'm not a pro at all that, but it seems to be a great medium of just sharing ideas and testimonials. So we want to do what we can to support your efforts, and be happy to see somebody get $500 worth of products.
$500 in products. Listen, there's only one thing, and you've heard me say this numerous times. There's only one thing better than our products, and that's our products when they're free.
That's right.
You just can't beat free, So that is amazing. And so take a look at that. When you go into your back office, it's right there. It shows you when he talks about the rules and regulations. I mean, they're pretty simple. It's not like giving blood or anything. It's just pretty simple that there's some kind of guidelines that we want you to make sure that you tag, hashtag and tag the company so that, and number one, so that the people know what you're talking about. Number two is so the company can see your post and make sure that you get entered.
Yeah, that's right. Otherwise, it might be out there. We just don't know.
Yeah, and there's no limits to the number of times you can go out there and post stuff.
No.
So you can do it all you want to, and that's awesome. And now here's some exciting stuff coming up too. We've got some events coming up. We've got I'm waiting on my screen to catch up. Have on our next leadership summit is a virtual online leadership summit. Is June the 19th, which is a Saturday, from 12 to 3 o'clock. Now, for those of you who are new with us, and I'm going to let Eddie talk a little bit about this event. We've got a live event coming up that I know everybody's excited about, and we'll talk about that next. Okay. But what we have found with the virtual online leadership summits is this. The first thing is we just talked about giving away $500 in free product. These are free events to attend. You can sit at home in front of your computer in your PJs and watch. You don't have to buy an airline ticket. You don't have to drive anywhere. You don't even have to drive to the end of your neighborhood. You can sit there and watch it. Now, if you want to be at, I had somebody say, well, my son's got a ball game at the last event we had. And I said, no worries. No worries, because you can watch it on your phone.
That's right.
While your son's playing ball. Because what's cool about it is there's tons of great information. We've got some amazing speakers lined up for this next event and some amazing information. It's just, working on yourself is always important. But we're also, once again, giving away free products. So, Eddie, if you want to touch a little bit on this upcoming event. I
will, and I'm gonna position this for those that you sort of see that we've had. This will be our third virtual event this year, online event, whatever you want to call it. Now, some of that's because of just the challenges associated with the pandemic, but some of it's also just realizing the convenience that this affords people, right? And so we like the idea of a mix of virtual and then in-person events moving forward, right? So we're not going to walk away from the virtual format. It's just too convenient for so many people. Here's the thing that I would tell you. As I look back at my career, and I had success, I was very fortunate to have success in the field, and now we've seen success corporately. And as I study other people like Alan, who've enjoyed the success people are striving for, right? Alan is a living example of that. There are sort of 5 things that I think are important. Maybe it's 4 primary and 1 intangible. Got to use the products, right? I don't know how you do this if you're not a product of the product in some capacity. You don't have to have an earth-shaking testimonial, but you gotta be willing to invest your time and energy in using the products. So that's kind of one thing. You got to talk to people, however you do it. If you hide your light under the bushel, it isn't going to go anywhere, right? You got to be willing to talk to people. You got to be willing to share your story, right? And when you talk to them, you're using tools. But then there's events, right? Events are one of those major pillars, because events allow information to settle on someone, gain context, and afford somebody the position of making a decision. Most all of us, there are a few people that make decisions on the fly, but for most people, they need a moment to kind of digest it, ruminate on a decision, and then own the decision. And events give you that opportunity, and it's irreplaceable. It's an event-driven enterprise. I was told that early on. I've lived that. I believe it to be true. And I believe if you don't use events, again, it's like not using the tools. You're shortchanging your own success. You may still find some success, but I just know if you used events. And so I've customarily in my life of work in the business, I built my business kind of on cycles, and the larger component of the cycle was whatever the next event was. And so you're working in between the event to get people advanced enough to elevate themselves, hopefully to get started, but if not, committed to the event. So that might be the place they make that decision. And so each event has a theme. This one coming up is arguably as important as we could offer, which is a showcase of leadership. Some of our internal leadership. Alan will be one of the speakers, and some of the other people that you've met on Team Elevation page, and then some outside speakers. All are there and giving their time, and preparing for this event to impart some pearls of wisdom they picked up along the way. What have they learned from the journey, so that you can shorten how long it takes you to learn, right? And so these things are critical. And I'll tell you right up front, making time for the event can be inconvenient, no matter who you are. Most people I meet they're over busy, no matter what. But you have to invest some time if you want to see success, right? If you want this eventually to replace your current work or enhance your retirement or give you the financial resources to put your kid in any college they want to go to, or buy a beach house. Whatever this is, an investment of time has to come from somewhere. And these are events that are designed to help you leverage time, because when you show up for the 2 or 3 hours that you do, you gain new skills. You're just that much more effective. So all of a sudden, what took you a half hour takes 15 minutes or whatever happens to be. And so I cannot emphasize enough, you can go on the website, the registration page, not only to register to attend the event, but to learn about the agenda. But you're going to grow and develop from the event. You're going to have some skills that grow. You're going to hear from people talking about the key attributes to being successful, three-way phone calls, following up, helping people get started, all these things that are components of being successful in the business. It's not a complicated business. There's a little wheel of about a half a dozen things you need to gain some mastery of, and attending this event will give you the ability to do that. And maybe as important as anything, one of our key speakers there is speaking on subject matter that essentially is about developing your emotional intelligence. And in this business, developing your emotional intelligence is important, right? That's a part of that's listening to people, helping to discover what's important to them so that you don't waste your time or their time, so that you can cater the message directly to what's important to them and instead of some other notion that you have. But that carries over. I promise you, attending these events, I've been a better husband to Maria. I've recognized the importance of listening. I believe I've been a better parent to Sawyer and Ethan, our kids, and even a better son and brother to my family, because we're not often in the traditional workplace reminded of these core values of recognizing and honoring the person across from you and all these kinds of things. So it's just a lot of wonderful things on that agenda. And I'll just tell you right up front, there's a payoff. You attend the event. I mean, you could win some prizes. That's pretty fun. But you're also going to have a chance to grow. And what's important, as a secondary factor is don't come by yourself. Have your team there as well so they can experience that. You can attend and then contact them and say, oh, this was great. But outside of the moment, life is so busy. And getting people to pay attention in the moment, drink in the information so they can immediately use that information to help them build for our live event that we'll talk about in some detail here coming up in Scottsdale, Arizona in September. So these are critical, and you're going to see us as a company have events, right? Your entire career with us on, depending upon where you live and your regional situation could be 30-day cycles, 60, 90-day cycles, but that's part of our offering of tools is offering and supporting events because they are a tool not unlike the newspaper insert or the website or the app.
Yeah. And one of the more, all of that is so spot on. And I want to emphasize again, you register for the event, you get to win prizes. We give away products. We're giving away, and I don't know what all the gifts are this time. I mean, last time they were giving away iWatches, and these are not cheap. I don't know how much they are, but they're amazing. But let me tell you, I've been doing this for a long time, not as long as Eddie, but I've never met a true six-figure earner or above, and that may not be your gig, and that's fine, but I've never met a true successful person in this industry who does not only attend the events, but promotes the events.
Right.
And here's what's important that I've seen. The virtual events that we've done, without every single time, I will get a message or a phone call from one of my leaders or from one of my new people, and they'll say, did you hear what they said about blah, 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 blah? And it just resonated with them and lit a fire in them. You see, it may not have lit a fire in me, but it lit a fire in them.
Yeah.
And I want to say this. So this event is Saturday, June the 19th at 12 p.m. June is wedding month, right? That's the month that I don't, we're men, Eddie, so I don't understand what June's got to do with it. I don't know, but whatever, that's when they, but that's a big wedding month. And I only say that to say this. I'm going to be at the event. I'm speaking, obviously. But if I had said to Eddie, hey, Eddie, I'd love it. My daughter's getting married that day. She's getting married at 1:00, and I can't be there. I'm just going to let you know what you should do as a leader is you should promote that event. I'm not going to lie to anybody, but I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm not going to be there. You see, because the beautiful thing about a virtual event is they don't know if I'm sitting in my chair watching it. I mean, the reality of it is if my daughter was getting married at 1:00, from 12 to 1, I'd probably be sitting over here on the side with my cell phone watching the event, because I love this and it's exciting and I love hearing the speakers and I love what's going on. And she'd say, I do, and he'd say, I do, and they'd kiss and they'd be headed out to the car and I'd be back over in the corner watching again. I'm sure getting fussed at, But my point to that is this, is stuff happens in life. And sometimes that date may not be convenient for you, but that does not stop you from making sure that you promote this event to your downline and make sure that, don't just assume that your downline is going to spread the word to your downline's downline. You're the leader of your team. If your team is 2 or 2,000, you're the leader. And so make sure Eddie refers to a thing that some of you aren't used to hearing, which is called a phone tree. Back in the day, I'd call Eddie, Eddie would call Susie, Susie would call Mary, and it was a phone tree. Everybody'd call each other. And now we're in the world of text messaging and Facebook and StreamYard and social media and Instagram. And so it's easy to get the word out, but never assume that they know about it. Make sure that you do, because listen, here's the thing. You may reach out to Mary McDonald, and Mary McDonald may say, hey, Alan, thank you for reminding me of that. And she may be level 5 to you, and she may attend that event and get a spark from the fire, get excited, and she might be the next star ambassador in our company, simply because you reached out and shared and said, hey, make sure you attend this event. And I'm going to tell you, I was on a call today, and they were talking about your why. What is your why for building a business? And I said, that's an interesting question. I said, what excites me more than anything is to see the Mary McDonalds who have struggled through life, or maybe not felt like that, they were capable of achieving success, go buy a new home or buy a new car or just go on a vacation and put on there, I'm going to Italy, or see them walk across stage. Eddie, when you were doing the roses and the awards we were doing, and I think that was in Vegas, that we were giving awards to people on stage, and when they come across there and you see them and they get excited and the emotion in the room when you see people that are part of your team be recognized and just be so appreciative and so thankful, that in itself is just so powerful. And you never know where they're going to catch that spark. That spark could come on Saturday, June the 19th, from something that one of our speakers says that just clicks with them. That's right. It's so important, so important. We're getting slow on time, but I did want to say, and you got it out here. Here's where you register. You simply, I'm going to share the screen again. You go to your website, and now let me. By the way, something else to tell you is listen. If you've got a prospect, they can attend. Yeah, let them know. We're going to be talking about some products, and we're going to be talking about some leadership and stuff. But hey, you can attend for free as a prospect, and you might win a prize. Right? So anybody can attend. It doesn't just have to be, a member. They're considering it. Well, hey, you know what, Susie? Just plug into this event and see what you think, because you'll get a feel for our company. So they go to your website and they look under the collaborate link, and under there is the mastermind event. They click on that and it brings them to this page, and they click right there and it's free. And now they're registered to win free stuff. And use that as a tool. Hey, listen, you might win a free prize. Who knows? Some of our people at the last event said, listen, as a gift, because we've got this amazing thing called $50 gift cards. I don't know if y'all have heard about this or not, as we chuckle. We did a 3-way call. I told you earlier, and I said, hey, just as a gift for coming on and giving us your time today and listening, Tammy's going to mail you a $50 gift card so you can use it on your first purchase. And see, that person, they were like, wow, you're going to do that for me? Yeah, we just appreciate you coming on and just giving us time to share our story with you. So just as a gift for your time, we're going to send you a $50 gift card, and you find some, you know what he said? I'm going to go on and I'm going to try several of your products. I'm going to try, because we were nice and gave him a gift. So you can say to your folks, hey, just come and listen, plug in and attend the event, and I'll send you just for your time a $50 gift card. Some people send CBD samples. Whatever you want to do, you're welcome to do. It's your business. So lots of good stuff, and then we're letting people know too, Eddie, that our live event is coming up September the 18th, and you're keeping the details in secret. But the reason we're make sure everybody knows that we're going to Scottsdale, Arizona, and flying into Phoenix. We're going ahead and letting people know that the event is on Saturday. There's a Friday night dinner that you want to make sure you qualify for to be able to have dinner with Eddie and his beautiful family. It's a leadership qualifying dinner. So get with your upline and find out what the qualifications are to make sure you qualify. But we just want to make sure, because with the gas, with all that's going on, the gas shortages and the prices, airline tickets are expected to go up. And so Jamie Grogan texted me earlier and said, I'm when are you flying in? When are you flying out? And I told her, and she sent me a message back, said, booked. I'm on the way. I'm booked to come. And I know many of you on the call here today have already booked your tickets. And if you do, once you book your tickets, go to the team page and say, hey, I booked my ticket. I'm in. You got to make sure you're coming with us, again, to encourage people to attend the event. So
can I say just a couple things about the event?
Oh, absolutely. I'm about to turn it over to you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that it's coming up and to get their ticket booked now.
Yeah, that's right. And so I'll tell you, we've tried to candidly stagger the information so as to not confuse people with the virtual event to register for, and then the live event to register for. And so it'll come out next week, and you'll have all the details. But you can go ahead and book your flight, because Phoenix is the airport to fly into. But we want you to qualify for the leadership dinner, which means you need to get to level 2 of the 3-peat bonus. That's on Friday night the 17th. And it's a special night for me, because I'm going to ask you to come and help me celebrate my birthday. I'll be 58 years old that day. And so I can't think of a better place and a better group of people to celebrate it with. And so we intentionally set the event up to do this, because that's exactly where I'd like to be, is at a leadership dinner with people that have qualified. So we're, as good as the virtual events are, they don't replace in person. And it's just, it's remarkable. You can really sense the sincerity and the emotion of what people are feeling. And it's fun. I always get as much sort of emotionally as I do intellectually by being around entrepreneurs, people that just care, kind of that much more in life. They're striving. They want to do better. They want to offer their family more. They want to be healthier, all these things. And to see people of all sort of backgrounds and statures having success, I'm just inspired by it. So I really, if you're serious about this, I know it's a sacrifice. It's not the most money in the world, but it is money. I hope you'll do what it takes to be there. I promise you, it'll make an impact. It'll change how you see yourself, and I believe the sort of the belief you have in what you can accomplish here. You'll see the stepping stones, the springboard to success that much more clearly. So I'm hoping you'll join us, and not just join us by yourself, but bring your spouse or significant other, and bring your team. This is a wonderful family atmosphere and a heck of a lot of fun. I mean, you can't, if you don't want to have fun, don't come. This is fun stuff.
That's the truth. And I mean, it was a year or so ago, we were celebrating my 49th birthday out there at the event
in Nashville.
That's right. That's right. And for y'all that believe that, I got some Arizona property, oceanfront I'll sell you out there. But anyway, let me say this too about the event. And Eddie's got a great story that I won't ask him to share right now about one of the first events that he ever attended. But, you know, when the information comes out next week about the room rates, it's going to be at a beautiful resort. We always go to amazing places. But listen, I've been to these events where I've seen, 6 people share a room. I don't know who threw the short straw and slept in the bathtub, but I mean, you just do what you got to do to be there. And that makes it even more fun. You just pile up in a room. It's like, college days, or for some of us, high school days, where we just come together and we say, I remember in high school, we lived 4.5 hours from the beach, and somebody'd say on a Friday, you want to go to the beach? We're like, yeah. Oh, well, let's leave in an hour. And we would head down and find a sleazy little whatever dump we could rent for $40 a night, and there'd be 7 or 8 of us in there, and we would have the best time.
Absolutely.
And so, just make sure that you let everybody know that, just as Eddie said, that it's a blast. It's a lot of fun. We have a great time. Just sharing stories and being able to learn, and there'll be some great speakers there as well, and you'll get some great information there. And we're going to plan some outside activities. I know that the Minnesota Vikings are playing the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday, and I know that Denise Longton is really wanting to go to that game, and I'm not sure that price range is what we're looking to for a team event. But, not unless if I win the lottery between now and then, everybody goes on me, just count on that. But we're going to find some things. AJ Vach, who lives out there, has sent me a list of some things that I didn't think about. Have you seen those 4-wheel like dune buggy things,
Oh, yeah.
You can rent those and ride them around the desert, and I'm like, well, hey, that might be pretty good because, they got a roof and it's shady and it's a blast. He sent me a couple things and I got to follow up on him. And Denise, what'd you say, Denise? Oh, football, anyone? Yeah. And so we're looking for things to do, and we're going to put something together. We did horseback riding in Nashville. We've done, and some of the folks do some clubbing and late night dancing at some of the places. I know we had we just do some really cool and fun stuff. And even when we're just hanging around the pool and visiting and shooting the breeze and just enjoying life, I mean, there's nothing better. So, we're excited about that upcoming event. But Eddie, I want to thank you for coming on tonight and spending some time with us.
Thank you, Alan, for having me and hosting and doing all that you do. Greatly appreciate it. And for those that have joined us and those that will watch this later, thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And today is Wednesday, and it is the 18th of the month. Is that right? So, hey,
19th.
Is it the 19th? All right. So I got to put my glasses back on here. 19th of the month. And so we're, great stuff happening. Got some great results. Got a lot of new people on. A lot of people hitting for that 3-peat bonus. That bonus runs from April, May, June, July, and August, so that you can qualify for that dinner. Just level 2 is all it is. Find 3 and help them find 3. And just let me say that I've been honored to be at the last 2 dinners, and it's not often that you get treated like royalty at an amazing dinner. And you guys, Eddie, you and the team put on a fabulous dinner that I promise you'll want to earn to be there. So thanks everybody for joining in. We appreciate you all, and Nan and I have ridden. Look here. Nan and I have ridden ATVs in the desert. All right, cool. Yeah. Cindy's up for horseback riding. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. So, Eddie, thanks again, and I will see everybody tomorrow.
Sounds great. Bye-bye now.